You're good. Yeah. This is a golf course and a place that I love. I mean, I'm fortunate to play the Junior Heritage, a junior tournament here. So it's just I feel like it's a golf course that fits my game, or it's a place that I just really enjoy to play, because I think it's a place that rewards good golf, but it can really penalize you, and you can make bogeys so fast if you get out of position. And I was really proud of today, of just staying patient and kind of plotting our way along. And yeah, I mean, I feel like winning on a golf course like this is a pretty cool thing to add to your resume. And not that I wouldn't have taken one wherever I could get it, and still will, but yeah, it's a great feeling.
Take us through the putt, the first hole, or first playoff hole, and then also to win with Jillian and Molly there,
Yeah.
which I know is super special. For
sure. We unfortunately had the disappointing walk together as a family in Tampa. After had a couple shot lead there with a couple holes to go, and didn't have a good finish, and Victor went in there. So it was, that I feel like I used a lot of that as kind of momentum, or just to build on, and motivation, if you will. But so it was great to have them there behind the green, and be able to enjoy that win and celebrate with them. And I mean, the joy and excitement it brought to me to be able to see them after the putt went in, and even walking up to the green was something I definitely didn't think I would feel in past. But the putt in the playoff was it was a putt I feel like I'd seen in past. It's kind of a funky little pin of if you try to play too much break, it seems like it kind of stays out. But it just, more than anything, like I did all weekend, I felt like I had my read of a little bit outside the left of it being straight and falling right, and I just committed to that, and really just tried to put a good stroke with good speed on it, and yeah, it looked good the whole way.
All right, we'll start with questions. Doug?
More relief or more joy?
I think joy. I think there's definitely some relief in there, but it was, when the ball went in, it was pure joy. It was excitement and happy, but it was like after I kind of had that interaction with Joe, it was like just looking around, and it was just it was joy. I just was so happy. I couldn't stop smiling.
You dropped your putter before the ball went in, right?
I did?
Yeah.
All right, let's go Ron and then Paul.
Given your career path the last 3 years and all we talked about, what was the hardest part? Was it working through that, or waiting on today? Was it finding the key, or waiting for today?
I don't know. I mean, the hard part about it is it's really hard to win. And I feel like I've been playing well enough to win for a couple of years, but just because you feel that way and you are, obviously that doesn't mean that you're going to. I mean, obviously, 23 was tough, and it was trying to work my way through it and get my way out of that. But it definitely, I feel like I was putting more pressure on myself even last year to win than I was this year. And I feel like my game is in such a better place and in a good spot to where I'm just really trying as hard as I can to get myself in a place mentally of just trusting and playing and just committing to what I'm doing, and having the belief that it's going to be good enough the more often I get myself there. And I've done that a couple times this year and hadn't been able to close it out. And I even knowing in the playoff, it was like, if it, obviously I plan and hope and want to win, but if it doesn't, we're just going to keep plugging and try to put ourselves there next time.
All right, let's go to Paul on the left.
You had obviously played much better golf last year compared to what you did in 2023, and great golf here. Did you feel at all like still you needed a win to feel like that bad stretch could be fully kind of put to bed and behind you?
I'd say so. I mean, I think it was the last thing missing, if you will, I guess, I don't know. It's hard to say because obviously careers are so long and there's so much up and down and lots going on that you never know what point of your career you're at until it's over. So at least for me, I felt like it was the last thing that I needed to do for my own well-being. I've unfortunately, but also fortunately, had been long enough without winning that I feel like I wasn't getting the same question every week. It was just kind of like it's so far in the past, you know, we got other things that we can talk about type thing. So I'm just, yeah, I'm way more happy for myself than I am of anything in that regard of like not having to deal with that or anything anymore.
I was talking to Jordan. He said he saw you out here kind of grinding on Monday, day after the Masters. What were you working on?
Just trying to sharpen things up. I mean, last week I felt like it was weird at Augusta. I hit some really good shots, and then I just hit some really bad shots. I felt like there really wasn't anything in between. Then again, when kind of sitting back and looking at the week, I mean, I tried to be reasonable with myself, and like it was very clearly not a normal week with the very unfortunate situation with Rev and his back going out, and then, you know, not knowing what I'm going to do for a caddy, and then figuring out Tuesday Joe could come, and then us having 9 holes together and pretty much like on the fly and on the go figuring out how it's going, and then also trying to play well. So I mean, I gave myself a little bit of grace once it was over, but I mean, that round I played on Sunday in the back 9 and birdieing the last 2 holes, you know, nobody would pay it. They have no reason to pay attention to it, especially with what happened on Sunday at Augusta. But you know, it's something for us as players we take a lot of pride in, and I felt like it was easy to take the day off, but just needed a little bit that I felt like if I could just sharpen some things up and really come into a week at a place that I love, prepared and ready to go, then you know, we could have a chance to win this week.
All right, right over here on the left, and then to Ron in the back.
Yeah, Max Siraj, Loco Sports. Wanted to ask, as you came into the final round, did you think you had an idea of how those greens were moving with the ball and across the green and stuff like that?
A little bit. I mean, it was so fun playing this place like this. Obviously, this isn't normal circumstances of them, at least to my understanding, kind of tearing them up. I don't know if it's tomorrow or soon, but they could let the greens go. It just was so hard to get the ball close to the hole. I kind of was talking to my dad last night about that. It's, you know, I played well yesterday. I just kept having numbers and clubs or angles that a really good shot was 20, 25 feet, or it was a club that I, you know, maybe couldn't quite get to the hole, but the other one wasn't going to have enough spin to stop near the hole, and it was going to go past. And when you get at places like this, it really is just about being patient and kind of picking the spots when you have them. So I felt like, you know, we had a good idea of how the course was playing, and it was almost kind of like hitting a tee shot, getting out there, assessing, okay, this is a pin we can go after, this is a pin we can't, and then just being, you know, aggressive to those conservative targets, if you will.
All right, let's go back to Ron and then Taylor.
You may have just answered this, but beyond the playoff, what do you feel like you did the best today? Was it just patience and staying sort of where your feet are at the moment?
Probably, but man, I putted the ball beautifully today. I'm